Converting your 113 iron farm into one that works in Minecraft Village and Pillage 114 is really very simple. Today I'm going to show you how. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next video from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. And today we are going to be converting this 113 iron farm into a 114 iron farm. This farm works beautifully in Minecraft 113 and below, but Minecraft 114 it breaks. That's because in 113 below the doors are what say it's a village. In Minecraft 114 you need some very different things and doors no longer count to make a village. So we are going to convert this to a Village and Pillage compatible farm. Minecraft 114 Village and Pillage iron farms need beds and they need composters, and they also need a lot of amorous villagers. But the production rates are much faster. To make this build on top of the existing iron farm, you are going to need about 6 stacks of whatever structural block you're using, about 6 stacks of glass, 114 beds, the colour doesn't matter, 114 composters, some water, or if you prefer some ice, and you're going to need probably 3 stacks of that, 114 bits of carpet, the colour is irrelevant. You're going to need 8 pieces of spruce fence, about 5 stacks of slabs, maybe a handful of glowstone, and perhaps a stack to 2 of a slab that is working with your structural block. And if you're going to use the minecart method to get your villagers out and into the section, you need a load of rails, a few powered rails, 1 detector rail, 1 activator rail, 1 normal piston, a handful of levers, 5 bits of redstone, 1 redstone repeater, and 1 minecart. So the first thing you've got to do is open the world in Minecraft 114. Be very careful, this is not reversible. You have a functional farm in front of you, you open it in 114, it will no longer work. Let's do it. And here we are in 114. This iron farm no longer works. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of these doors because they serve absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Now what we need to do is remove the water from this top level. So get yourself any block, and we're just going to be putting these blocks on where the water source blocks are. So if we pop that there, that gets rid of that corner, and then we know that we've got water source blocks all the way from here. You can see there we've lost the water sources along all of that side. I'm just going to take the rest of the water out. The water on the top level is completely gone, but the water on the bottom level is still there, and there it shall stay. Come to the top level and choose 2 of these sides, so 2 opposite sides, and fill in just a single row like that. Don't do any more than that. That is absolutely perfect. And then take out the remaining along the line that you have there. So keep a complete row all the way along. Brilliant. Then come to one side and get yourself a composter and make a row of composters along the entire width, and then a row of beds, 1 for each composter. Brilliant. And now do that twice more and repeat on the other side. You should now have a top level that looks exactly like that. Where you've got your channel, fill it up with glass blocks that are level with the bed, coming all the way along until it looks like that. Now get yourself some carpet and put a piece of carpet on each and every composter. The reason we're doing this is because sometimes the villagers can get stuck inside the composter and glitch through to the other side, and then they end up falling into the farm, dying, and you don't get any drops from them, so it's a complete waste of time. So just get them all covered up with a bit of carpet and that will keep them safe. Come to any corner of the top level of the farm and remove the top 3 layers there. Then pop yourself a glass block on that corner and run a row of glass all the way along. You'll notice there is a gap between the slab and the glass. That's fine. This is a lower slab, and as a result that is a void space. It doesn't matter, it's perfectly right, and that shouldn't be a problem for you. Then when you come here, remove that corner and continue all the way around, and do this for 3 high, all the way around the entirety of the farm. And there is a nearly finished upper compartment of your iron farm. We've got glass 3 high, and we will be putting a roof on the top, but we're not going to do that quite yet. The roof is very important. That will protect the villagers from lightning strikes. If lightning strikes a villager, or within 4 blocks of a villager, that villager will turn into a witch. If the villager turns into a witch, it will no longer be able to generate an iron golem, and then you'll lose your villagers and you'll wonder why there's no iron coming out of your farm. So we need to protect them. But first, we got to get the villagers up there. There are a few ways that you can transport your villagers into your iron farm compartment, but I like using a rail system. The rail system is virtually automatic once you've got it set up. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you've got a block underneath this corner, so this corner here, and that needs to be on the level that is underneath the feet of these villagers, and then come along 1, 2, 3 more, come out to the side, come out 3 more, and then start a step up until you get to the level of the glass. Once you're at the level of the glass, bring it up 1 more and bring it over the top of the glass. Now it doesn't matter where you bring it over the glass, as long as you bring it over so the inside has plenty of space. And pop a cap on the top of it. On top of that cap, put a powered rail, then put 2 normal rails, and then put 2 powered rails. Then a normal rail, and then put a detector rail, a normal rail, an activator rail, a normal rail, and then you can complete the circuit with as many powered and normal rails as you would like to be able to get the minecart up and down. Once that's complete, we need to get the villager dispenser system in, and what we're going to do is we're going to come out 2 blocks there, and then we're going to have a block up there and a block like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then get ourselves a piston, and that piston can go on top of that facing outwards. We want to get some redstone dust, place redstone dust there, there and there, and pop it up the step, and then get yourself 1 repeater and pop that repeater going into the piston. Now this is not an elegant circuit. If you have a better circuit than this, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd be very interested to find out about it. But that will activate the villager dispenser system. Then get yourself some levers and power all of the powered rails on the system, and also the activator rail, which also needs power. Every powered rail system should probably only need 1 lever for the entire link, but 1 powered rail will only run for 15 blocks. So if you've got a powered rail segment that's longer than 15, you may find that you've got to put extra power on. Pop 1 on there, and then at the end of this, shove a block. Before you start carting the villagers all over the place, remove this slab here and replace it with a block. That gives 2 solid blocks around the feet of the villagers, which makes it more efficient for them to transfer into the minecart. And then find a nice spot on your track, it doesn't matter where it is as long as you've got one, and give them a little push and watch the villagers come along into your minecart, go up and be pushed into the farm beautifully like that, and then it'll go down and collect up another one, and that will keep going until that pod is empty, and then repeat it for the other pod. Once you've got them all out, you can start to throw them a lot of food. You need to chuck loads and loads and loads of carrots in. So I'm just going to put a load of food in here, and that will allow them to have enough food to start the breeding cycle. And you can leave them to start thinking about it and deconstruct the railway, because you don't want that up there anymore. So you can see now the villagers are starting to breed up with those love hearts, and we should start to see little babies. In fact, we can already. They're starting to share little babies with carrots, and they will continue to breed like that until you've got 1 villager for every single bed that is in this system. While the villagers are upstairs, you can start playing around with the downstairs. So the first thing we're going to do is remove all of the blocks from underneath the beds and the composters. That will stop iron golems from spawning inside the chamber, because these will be considered to be solid blocks. Remove these slabs because they're just going to be in the way, and do that on both corners. You can also remove the villager pods now as well because they're completely finished with. So take out the water blocks that are up in these corners. You're not going to be needing them anymore either. In 1.14, the spawn area for an iron golem is 4 levels below where a villager is standing, or 2 levels above, and it also goes out for 8 blocks in every direction. Now that means we need to make sure that any platforms we're going to have our golems spawning on have to be no further than those coordinates. Now, because of the beds and the composters, these villagers are actually sitting on 1 block above the level of that bottom, so we need to be sitting our spawning platforms the same level as the top of these corners. So pop yourself a block just on one of the corners there and run it all the way along until you get to the opposite corner. Do the same, wrapping it all the way around. Put a slab on top of the other slabs all the way around as well, and that will create that 1 slab drop. Take out the corners as you go around. Come to the corner of one of the bottom sections of your farm and come out 5 like that. Do the same in the opposite corner in the opposite direction, and do that on every side, and then complete it so you have 4 platforms, one on north, south, east and west, of 6 wide, including this inner row. Your platforms should look like this, and then get yourself a row 2 high of glass all the way around the outside. We're using glass because glass is not a spawnable block, and as a result the iron golems won't spawn on top of the glass, they'll only spawn inside the chambers, and that's what we're looking for. Now, the spawning mechanics are slightly different with iron golems. When they're looking for a spawn chance, the game will see, is there a block that an iron golem can spawn on? It doesn't then roll a dice. If there is a block that a golem can spawn on, it will spawn. So having masses and masses of area for the golems to spawn is not as important as it used to be. So we've got a lot of babies in the system now, and they're all going to bed. They've all got their own bed. You can see these babies will grow up into adults. They will have babies of their own, and very soon we will have a completely full capsule. You can see we're probably about a quarter full. That means we're only 2 breeding cycles away from being completely full. In the meantime, let's fill up these different sections here. Now you're going to need to put a bucket of water in every single section, because what will happen if you don't, they will just run straight towards the middle, and that's not what you're on. So fill up every single section with a bucket of water. You could use ice and break the ice, that works beautifully, and that will allow you to have a complete flow of water all the way to the end. Once all of your capsules are completely full of water, you'll see no matter where you are within the stream, you are going to be flowing down towards that hole right in the middle, and the iron golems are going to do exactly that when they spawn. Now, the more villagers you have, the more chance there is of a golem to spawn, but we could see some golems spawning fairly soon. And as if by magic, we have our first iron golem going into the system. These villagers are already producing that sweet, sweet iron, and that's what we want. Now, this will produce more iron than the old one. All that remains is for us to put a roof on it. So I'm going to use fence posts in the corners of here, just 1 high in every corner. And I'm also going to count in halfway. And halfway we know is where that glass is, and we can do exactly the same on that side as well. So we've got 8 posts there, and then we're going to create a slab roof, just a flat slab roof that comes out 1, 2, 3 and 4 in every direction, and that will give enough protection from that lightning to avoid us having any problems with witches. 1 finished roof, and I've put just a little bit of mood light in using a little bit of glowstone in the middle there. We've got around about a 90% capacity in the farm now, so I think it's time to give it a bit of a test. So far, it's only just started, remember. We have accumulated 9 iron and 2 poppies. I'm going to take those out, and we're going to do a bit of a test. We're going to run the farm for 1 hour, and we're going to see how much iron we get in 1 hour. Let's get waiting. Almost exactly 1 hour later, we have got a little wandering trader with his llamas sitting there, and we're going to see what's inside our chests. We have achieved, interestingly, we've got poppies have landed first. We have achieved 3.5 stacks of iron and a stack and a little bit of poppies in the first hour alone. In fact, it was 57 minutes. So that is significantly faster than the previous iron farm, probably about 5 times more efficient. So that is a 114 active iron farm. We've got a couple of golems going in there. That's brilliant. We have done that fairly easily off the back of our 113 iron farm. It's not that difficult a conversion, and the amount of resources you need isn't too bad. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. And also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.